Hey there, this is Captain Christopher German coming to you for the Charted Life Television and Conversations at the Helm. Now, normally we would be live doing this thing, but we're not this week because we are doing something very, very exciting. We're traveling all the way up to Ohio, Jackson Center, Ohio, to the heartbeat of Airstream America. Yeah, we're going to go see Alumapalooza 10, and we're going to be covering that event live. So we're on the road right now, someplace between Beaufort, North Carolina, and Jackson Center, Ohio, and I don't know where we are right now, but we're not in the studio, so I'm recording this early, and you're seeing this taped, live, whatever, I don't know, but enjoy it, because this week, Conversations of the Helm is all about the Airstream. Hey there, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. You might catch me coughing a little bit this conversation at the helm because just like last week, I still have a little bit of the plague, but I'm feeling a lot better. And for all the people that wished me well, I thank you so much. But the show must go on, and we are traveling this week. So we're heading up to Jackson Center, Ohio, and I am filming this episode before we've set off. So today is actually right now, it's Wednesday. We're hitting the road Thursday, and we'll be someplace between here and Ohio when you see this video. So don't call in this week. Don't even bother messaging this week. But we do hope you'll enjoy this broadcast because we have all kinds of cool videos to show you about Airstreams. Now, you might know the Charted Life is all about the mobile lifestyle. And we decided to get this all going because we, as a couple, Jennifer and I, we picked up an Airstream that was abandoned in a field way the heck out in Newport, North Carolina, and it was rotted. Well, we've resurrected it. We put new axles on it, and we've gutted it, and it's in the process of getting restored. But we don't have our Airstream ready to hit the road yet. So we're in our big old roadster, and we're going to be making our way out to Jackson Center, Ohio for Alumapalooza 10, where we're going to be broadcasting live all weekend long. It just happens to be my birthday weekend, and what better way to celebrate my birthday than wandering around a big open field in Ohio looking at Airstreams. So that's what we're going to do. But the first video I have to show you is a really cool historic video that we found up on YouTube and we're going to share. And this is all about the history of the Airstream. So without further ado, why don't we roll the tape?
Every man dreams of high adventure and faraway places, of strange lands with curious customs. The open road is to him what the open range is to the wild Mustang. A man dreams of the day he and his family can share the joys of travel together. Every year we make it possible for thousands of Americans from all walks of life to make their travel dreams come true. And we can do it for you too. You see, building dreams is our business. With an Airstream at your command, you can head for anywhere in the world, to fish, to swim, to play, to do anything you want. An Airstream is a total. The beautiful contemporary kitchen is complete with range, oven, and refrigerator freezer. No matter where you are, you will eat like a gourmet. You can bake biscuits high in the Canadian Rockies, or enjoy plenty of ice cubes in your drinks when you're traveling in the desert. You'll find a magnificent bathroom with a luxurious full-size tub, shower, toilet, and lavatory. And at night, you can set the thermostat to suit your own individual comfort, then sink into your own spacious bed. No other travel trailer in the world is built like an Airstream. We begin with a special high-strength steel alloy, which we have rolled to our own specifications. The entire chassis is electrically welded, main beams, cross members, even the step, to form a strong, unitized framework that can take any road condition you can dish out. The end result is the Aerostress chassis, strong as a steel suspension bridge, and yet, as you can see, remarkably lightweight. The plywood floor is then bolted to the chassis with 500 heavy-duty bolts. Airstreams cannot be stamped out or mass-produced. They are handmade and handcrafted by the skilled hands of many. This man runs up each nut and then sharply angles each bolt for absolute permanence. Under the floor insulation is vital for unlimited trailering. Oh, it costs more, but it makes your Airstream an all-weather, go-anywhere vehicle. When the insulation is securely in place, an aluminum sheet is riveted to the framework to completely enclose the underbelly. This combination of AeroCore fiberglass insulation and a totally enclosed underbelly means you can take your Airstream through any road condition in any weather with absolute confidence. The Duratorque axle, Airstream's exclusive running gear, is the direct result of our experience in the Belgian Congo, Thailand, India, and other places where ordinary springs and axles would snap like matchsticks. The Duratorque axle permits your Airstream to float on neoprene rubber torsion bars instead of the old-style metal springs. The rubber bars are placed in a special machine that freezes them at 150 degrees below zero. This freezing reduces the rubber bars in size. This nylon bearing assembly never needs lubrication and is guaranteed for the life of the original purchaser. The frozen bars are then placed on the spindle. Once inside, they expand to their original size to form a permanent assembly cushioned in rubber. As your wheels hit the obstacles on any road surface, the bumps are actually absorbed by the neoprene rubber bars inside the axle. There is nothing like the Duratorque axle in the industry. An added advantage of the independent wheel suspension, if you should get a flat tire, you can easily take the wheel off your Airstream and travel safely to a service station. The aluminum used in the Airstream fuselage is Alclad, the same aluminum used in modern jets, and we use it for the same reason they do. It's strong, lightweight, and reliable. Airstream's aluminum is a special heat-treated load-bearing alloy. Watch how easily this young lady can crumple a piece of non-treated aluminum. You could never do this with a piece of Airstream's Alclad. Now let's see if a piece of ordinary aluminum in this frame can support an Airstream with a hitch weight of 500 pounds. Ordinary aluminum simply can't hold up. Now let's subject a piece of alclad aluminum to the same test. Airstream alclad aluminum has up to 5 times the tensile strength as ordinary aluminum, and we're the only travel trailer manufacturer who uses it. This hardened, stretch-formed aluminum is placed on special jigs that control assembly tolerances to 3/1000ths of an inch, the thickness of a human hair. Here is another example of the amount of skilled handwork that goes into every Airstream. It takes 2 men to drive each of the thousands of rivets. The unfinished end is so strong, this man can chin himself on it. So lightweight, you can pick it up and walk away with it. The body shell is now put into place. Notice that the entire shell is streamlined. Missile engineers refer to this as a monocoque design. Both the jetliner and an Airstream get their strength from the combination of load-bearing aluminum and the monocoque design. That's why there is no need for heavy bracing. Lightweight ribs are used to define the shape, but not for strength. In fact, all the ribs that go into a 23-foot Airstream can easily be lifted by this attractive, but obviously not muscular young miss. Like the giant jetliner, it takes many skilled technicians to construct an Airstream. There are no shortcuts. At Airstream, there is only one way, the right way, the quality way. The ribs are now slipped into place and riveted. The lightweight body is now mounted on the Husky Aerostress chassis you've already seen constructed. This distribution of weight puts 66% of an Airstream's total weight from the floor line to the road. Shell and chassis are then leveled front to rear and side to side. The body is then securely riveted to the frame. The next step is to route all the openings for the door, windows, and trunks. Each opening is then fitted with a one-piece stretch-formed aluminum frame with no joints, no seams, no fasteners. These frames cannot vibrate loose, thus dirt and water can't get in. This means you can take an Airstream through the dusty African desert or get caught in a wild monsoon, and everything inside stays neat and clean. The entire wiring system in an Airstream is carefully hand-assembled in strict compliance with the US ASI code. The wiring is installed in such a way that when the trailer is finished, you can locate or service any circuit through a decorative panel in the ceiling. Wires and metal never make contact in an Airstream. Nylon and neoprene grommets are inserted wherever a wire must pass through ribs or bulkheads. With the outside skin now complete, each Airstream is subjected to this water tightness test. A veritable cloudburst pours over 1.5 inches of wind-driven rain per minute for a period of 7 minutes. This is the same test, incidentally, required of all American military shelters, including those on board our naval vessels. There is a special dye in the water so that while the wind and rain are whipping every part of the Airstream surface, a man equipped with a black light and a sharp eye marks any leak he may detect. After any leaks have been corrected, all seams, rivet heads, and window openings are sealed with a heavy stack of insulation nearly as high as the trailer itself goes into every Airstream. Sides, top, over wheel housings, every square inch of an Airstream is lined with a 2¼ inch thick mattress of Aerocore fiberglass. This insulation is impervious to flame, water, vermin, or settling. Together with the fiberglass insulation under the floor, your Airstream is soundproof and weatherproof, whether you're in the frozen Arctic or broiling Death Valley. Independent test laboratory where we're going to test the effectiveness of Airstream's insulation. We'll place this young volunteer inside the trailer, then lock her up in a special cold chamber. Once inside the cold chamber, the temperature will be brought down to -20 degrees, but inside the Airstream it will remain a cozy 72, as indicated by this automatic recorder. Protected by his heavy Arctic clothing, this technician pours out a glass of water. Watch what happens. In a short time, the water is frozen solid. Here is dramatic proof that an Airstream is the best insulated travel trailer on the road. This man is operating one of the biggest vacuum forming machines in the country. The automated giant heats a huge sheet of high-impact ABS plastic and delivers it to the waiting precision molds. The result is a one-piece interior end section that is remarkably strong, lightweight, free from flaws, and ready for installation. Now it's time to install the inner skin. Like the outer skin, the interior skin is also aluminum, only it is laminated with a durable and decorative fabric which serves as the finished interior wall. If it looks familiar, you've probably seen it on the inside of a 707 jetliner. The inner skin installed, it's now time to bring in the furniture. Notice the refrigerator goes on the floor where all heavy loads belong. The strength and weight of every piece of furniture is carefully considered before layouts are designed. First quality carpets and fabrics from our own sewing center are exquisitely fitted. In the galley, you'll notice expensive fixtures. Bedrooms come twin or double. The foam mattresses are a full 6 inches thick. The penthouse bathroom is unquestionably the most luxurious bathroom on wheels. And now the Airstream is finished and ready for action on the open road. We're at the famous Riverside Raceway for a series of revealing road tests. Remember what we said. An Airstream is strong but lightweight. It has a low center of gravity, and it is streamlined to minimize wind resistance like a jetliner. Just before we hit the track, let's take a look in the wind tunnel. First, a head-on wind. Look how smoothly the air flows. Notice how even a sudden side wind meets with no resistance. A typical square trailer and the same test. Look at that wind resistance. And a crosswind throws the square trailer off to one side with a lurch. Watch this Airstream. It's coming up to the pylons at 50 miles an hour. Airstream's streamlined shape means superior maneuverability. As you can see, the Airstream safely follows every movement of the tow car. Now the test driver will get up to 60 miles an hour and slam on the brakes. With its ideal low center of gravity, the Airstream stops straight as an arrow every time. Even on the loose dirt track at speeds of 50 miles an hour, you can see how easily the Airstream follows perfectly. An Airstream is made to go anywhere your car can go. We've engineered it that way. Our story doesn't end here. Only the words and the pictures do. For you, it is just the beginning of a more meaningful way of life that will open up a whole new world of travel adventure. Join the Airstream family, but do it now, for life is a one-time thing. Now go ahead and dream a dream of dark green forests or sun-drenched beaches, and we'll make them all come true. For building dreams is our business.
Yeah, building Airstreams, or building dreams is our dream, our Airstream. I think it's quite romantic, don't you? I mean, the idea of hopping into a big old tin can, driving across the United States of America, and seeing all the cool things that you could see out there. That's exactly what the Charted Life is all about. And I think that video actually really does sum up the idea behind the Charted Life, which is, you know, have a dream. Go do your thing. Wander, travel, get lost, have fun. And when you come back, have some good old pictures and some good old videos and share them with us on the Charted Life. That's the entire purpose of it all, don't you think? Well, we're going to take a little break right now, but we're going to come back and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our Airstream. So stay tuned and you'll see pictures of our Airstream coming up after this break.
Hey, welcome to Alaska Local Music. I'm here. I'm Lance here with Chris Talley.
How's it going, Lance?
You know, what's going on?
What are you into? And he's like, I'm actually a rapper. And I was like, oh snap, that's dope because
Yeah, I've seen that on Facebook.
you know, like
It's great to have someone to support you and be behind you.
oh yeah, yep, exactly.
And we're back. So, you're going to love some of these videos that we have, or these photos that we have, I think, because it really shows you just exactly what we were dealing with when we found this Airstream. It was tucked in somebody's backyard, and he had pulled it out of a swamp. And so we opened it up, and you wouldn't believe some of the things we found in this thing. But as you can see from these photos, we really did catch some cool things. Have a look. So yeah, as you can see, this was a dated, severely dated Airstream. It was a 1970, 69, 71, something like that. And, you know, it was shot in there, completely shot. You can see the bugs got into all of the frame and all that stuff. So we tore it all out of there. It's an International Airstream Sovereign land yacht. And we've pulled all that stuff out of there. And that's what it looks like right now. We stripped it all down. That's what it looked like before. And yeah, see, I mean, there were still like pots and pans and stuff in there. You could tell that somebody was really enjoying this thing. And so we moved it into our yard, as you can see there. And, well, we filmed this video when we finally moved it out. Hey, Captain Chris German here, coming from the tail end of Tilly the Airstream. She's a 1970 Airstream International land yacht. And we have officially brought her over here to Carteret Community College, where we will be finishing up the frame modifications on this. So as this thing was stuck in a swamp, and it had trees and snakes and frogs and all kinds of things living in it, we gutted it, and now it is completely echoey. It's actually, it's a lot like, it looks like inside of a B-52 bomber right now. It's really, really cool. I'm going to show you some pictures of what we're working on here. And you'll see, this is the tail end here, and it's all still rotted. And we're over here at the community college, and we are going to have a plasma cutter, which they're going to use here at the school. We're going to teach some students how to plasma cut, I think. And we're going to cut this rotten stuff off on both sides. And we're going to put the bumper back on, and we have to reconstruct all this stuff. So we're going to be doing all of these good things here. And we're going to have to redo the wiring in here. And once we get the belly skin, because there's no belly skin on this thing right now. But Bayside Jeeps, oh, you can hear it's raining. Bayside Jeeps put these axles on, brand new axles. The tires came from Mr. Tire here in Morehead City. Thank you both to Bayside Jeeps and Mr. Tire for helping us out. And so there's new shocks, new wheels. Not new wheels. We actually had the wheels painted by crewman Chris and his family. Helped us with those wheels. And we've re-welded the whole frame here. And so we're going to finish up the welding on here. And we will be doing all kinds of good stuff to make this thing roadworthy once again. This is the inside, and you can hear the rain. Tin roof, rusted. Very cool, don't you think? You like my Charted Life hat? Yeah, we got these Charted Life hats now. If you would like them, they're only $15 for a Charted Life hat, and you can help support our efforts to get people living the mobile lifestyle. If you want to get a hat, tell us, we'll get you a hat. But in any case, it's raining right now, and Chris is having a Monday because he's in the rain and he's sipping on his coffee, and he's being very sad because he's not having a good Monday today. But we also have another thing to tell you, because this afternoon we're going to get another one of these things. And Tilly's going to have a sister, and we're going to have a parts mobile, I think, to help us finish off this project. So we'll be telling you about that coming up very soon as well. So, for the Charted Life, I'm Captain Chris German, inside the belly of Tilly here at Carteret Community College, overlooking the Sound, and on a particularly rainy, nasty day. And we are going to be fixing this up over the next couple days, and we'll show you what we're doing on Facebook Live. Thank you for watching, and thank you for all the support you've given us this summer with all the boats and whatnot. But it is the winter time, and we're going to switch into Airstream mode.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Captain Christopher German for the Charted Life Television Network. We are going out to 380 million people around the world, and you should be advertising with us. If you'd like to advertise with us, you should call us at 252-617-3792. And if you call today, we will give you all kinds of good benefits, like reaching people as far away as Australia, and going out all hours of the day, giving you over 200 plays of your advertisement per month, and of course, coming up alongside some of the great programmers like S.V. Delos, Lance with Alaskan Local Music, Rabbi, Manus Friedman, Television, and all the other assorted programming we offer on the Charted Life Television. So if you want to, call us at 252-617-3792 and get yourself on the Charted Life Television Network.
Charted Life Television Network, and you should be advertising on this channel because it comes from wild places of Eastern Carolina. We've got crocodiles here, we've got alligators here, we've got sharks here, and we got bull that'll eat your face off, mate. So you should be taking the adventure that we provide for you here on the Charted Life Television Network with a big shrimp on the barbie and a cold Foster's. The Charted Life Television is all about adventure and crazy things like that. If you live in a bus or you live in a boat or you live in an Airstream or you travel the world and you do all kinds of good stuff, we want to know about it at the Charted Life Television Network. So, if you want to advertise with the outfit, I suggest you call immediately at 252-617-3792. Listen, so what are you doing right now? Crikey, you should be calling in 252-617-3792. This is the Charted Life Television Network, and we are going out all around the world. Give us a call now. Yip, yip.
Hey there, I bet you thought this was another episode of Sailing Friday, and it's not, okay? The reason it's not is because we are trying to create some new programming for this channel, which will involve all kinds of good people around the world. Currently, we're in discussions with people up in Ontario, we're down in Florida, and then all the way down in Martinique. We have another program we're working on bringing to you. And then we're also bringing you this tiny home, which is going to be broadcast right here in little old Beaufort, North Carolina. And I think there will be me and hopefully a couple other people, and it's going to be fun. But we're going to interview some talent tomorrow, and we're still trying to bring all that together. So that's what's coming on board for the Charted Life TV, and we do want you to stay tuned and catch all these cool programs as we bring them out. We're looking for sponsors, we're looking for talent, we're looking for camera assistants, we're looking for all kinds of good stuff, and of course we're looking for advertisers. So we're bringing the Charted Life TV to you so that you can enjoy the mobile lifestyle wherever you may be. So for the Charted Life, I am Captain Chris German, coming to you from the studios of the Charted Life Television Network, and I thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to the Charted Life TV. Thank you.
And we're back. This is the second half of the hour for Conversations at the Helm. And as we said, we're not in town right now. We're someplace between here and Jackson Center, Ohio, where we're going to be touring the Airstream Factory and attending Alumapalooza 10, where they'll, as far as the eye can see, there is going to be Airstreams and people living the Airstream lifestyle. And hopefully we'll get some great stories and some great interviews, and we'll be taping that and sharing all that stuff live, broadcasting live from the Alumapalooza 10. So that's why we're doing Conversations at the Helm in the can tonight. So don't call in and feel free to comment, but please don't message us because we're on the road and we don't want to be distracted from our driving as we're making our way up north to Ohio. I'm Captain Chris German for the Charted Life, and I said I do have some other videos which I thought are really cool. Now this next one I have is a tour of the Airstream Factory, which I think is very, very cool. And this is the type of stuff we're going to be looking at for this weekend, and we'll be bringing back all kinds of good stories. So have a look at this one. Roll the tape.
Ohio. If our long, long honeymoon is truly a spiritual journey, this portion of our ongoing walkabout is a pilgrimage. We need repairs. But in addition to mechanical expertise, We're seeking something else. Understanding. We arise at the crack of dawn and watch our Airstream get hauled away by John Deere. Airstream stands unique amongst all RV manufacturers. It's the oldest. It has a cult-like following. And like any worthwhile cult, it's got its own mythology, complete with a charismatic founder. The firm's origins date back to 1931, when a young entrepreneur named Wally Byam tapped into American wanderlust by designing and selling travel trailers. In addition to designing an RV icon, his marketing tactics were the stuff of legend. Byam was a showman. He donned a blue beret, created an owners club, and led group caravans to exotic destinations around the world. In perhaps his most famous such adventure, he guided a group of Airstreams from the southern tip of Africa all the way up to Egypt. Airstream's founder understood it takes sizzle to sell steak. We cool our heels in the plush owner's lounge. In addition to the usual supplies, the Wally Byam store sells the idea that these travel trailers are actually art. I think Wally would be proud. We enjoy a tour. In his career at the factory, our guide Eli has fulfilled multiple roles. A few years ago, he literally built the cabinets in our own Airstream.
So they can cut out the wheel wells.
In many respects, the manufacturing process is little changed from what Wally Byam supervised some 50 years ago. That, in a nutshell, is the elegance of the Airstream brand. Let's not make any changes, Wally once said. Let's make only improvements. In front of the factory, a row of vintage trailers stand watch. It's an open-air museum of sorts. This time, our guide is Airstream chairman, Larry Huttle.
Yeah. Very rare.
A 30-year company veteran, Larry's enthusiasm for these historical gems is infectious. This is the granddaddy.
Yeah.
It looks like it's in pretty good shape on the inside.
It is. A lot of that wood is original. It's got so many nice design nuances in it. From the period, the middle, the late 30s. Really, there's some very nicely designed features. This is the original, heat in here. There's some of the original, this is all original. From the time it was a icebox. The dimensions are so good that when you tow this with a car from the period, they really look nice.
Standing inside a 1937 trailer, we chat about Airstream's past, and I briefly ponder its future. But then it dawns on me. What's happened before and what will happen someday are both irrelevant. You see, long before Airstream was a twinkle in his eye, Wally Byam wrote out a personal mission statement. And what he said back in 1916 applies today just as it did back then. Don't live in the past or future, he wrote. Make history. In other words, get hitched and carpe diem.
diver broke the record for deepest submarine dive ever. He says he found new species and plastic bags and candy wrappers. One of those plastic bags was just lying on the ocean floor 7 miles down.
As we drag our bins out for collection, it makes us feel like we're helping the environment. But there's a problem. We're being conned.
Temporary closure of Boracay, which has been called a cesspool, and disturbing videos and images of plastic-filled Bali have been emerging after authorities declared a garbage emergency.
It's an atrocity that even the most remote places on our planet are now filled with the testimony of our filthy habits.
The plastic pollution problem seems to be a never-ending problem with no solution. But the truth of the matter is it's a matter of public knowledge that when we get together as a human people, we can do amazing things. We are proposing, with Ban the Bag in Beaufort, that we work together as a community, as a people, to ban our world of these problems by taking responsibility for these problems. We propose that by working together as a community, we can take personal responsibility for this problem and stop using these products at the source of them, where we use them and consume them, and instead convince our business community and our political leaders that they don't have to take action because we will do it for them. It is our hope that by raising awareness of this problem in our local and state and national community, we can convince people to refuse these usage of these products so that when they come to the store or they go to the restaurants or they go wherever they may be in their daily life and they see plastics, they may choose an alternative. And by reducing the demand for these products, we hope we might convince the world that we no longer need these products. Not so long ago, America was faced with the idea that they were going to have to give up tuna. It seemed that tuna nets were incapable of deciphering between tuna and dolphin, and thousands of dolphin were being killed every year in the pursuit of that tuna fish sandwich. Americans couldn't live for themselves, and so they went to the store and they stopped buying tuna. The tuna industry very quickly decided that they had to change their practices, and it was very soon thereafter that dolphin-safe tuna was brought to the market and the dolphin population rebounded. That is the mechanism we're hoping we can tap into to get plastics removed from our lexicon. By reducing and eliminating consumer demand for plastics, we will have a massive effect on the economic base of these products and thereby reducing the use of these products and the supporting industries that make these products available to us. We can change America just by refusing usage of these products in our homes. And it is our hope that Ban the Bag in Beaufort and beyond will convince you to stop using single-use plastics in your home so that we may have a global effect. You can help this effort in any number of ways by refusing styrofoam containers, or simply changing the way that you do business as a small business owner. All of these efforts are appreciated and needed, but we also ask that you help support our efforts financially. And you can send your contributions to Ban the Bag in Beaufort and beyond, care of The Charted Life, 209 North 35th Street, Morehead City, North Carolina. Thank you so much for all that you do, and God bless our planet.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Captain Christopher German for the Child Life Television Network. We are going out to 380 million people around the world, and you should be advertising with us. If you like to advertise with us, you should call us at 252-617-3792. And if you call today, we will give you all kinds of good benefits, like reaching people as far away as Australia, and going out all hours of the day, giving you over 200 ways of your advertisement per month, and of course, coming alongside some of the great programmers like SV Delos, Lance with Alaskan Local Music, Rabbi, Manus Friedman, and all the other assorted programming we offer on the Charted Life Television. So if you want to, call us at 252-617-3792 and get yourself on the Charted Life Television Network.
we're back, and we've got one more video to show. But you know, what'd you think of our RV, our Airstream? She has a name called Tilly, and that's our lovely little girl. And she is currently gutted, and there's nothing inside of her right now. But there's brand new axles on her that we got from a trailer company. I think TK Trailer. Yeah, TK Trailer is the one that sold it to us, I believe. And you know, we've got some really good people out there that we're working with, and that's one of those reasons we're so excited about going to the Airstream Factory this weekend and going to Alumapalooza 10, where we're going to be broadcasting live. Isn't that exciting? I am totally amped about that, and the more I'm editing this thing together, the more I'm getting excited about going. So stay tuned all weekend long as we're going to be broadcasting about Alumapalooza 10 and talking to people that own Airstreams and the Airstream lifestyle and all that other good stuff like that. But I got one more video for you, and this is a couple that actually lives in their Airstream, and that's what we're looking for right now, is we're looking for people who live in their Airstream and live the charted life and are videotaping it. So if you are watching this video and you have a dream to be a mobile lifer and to go set sail in your land yacht, give us a call and we'll put your videos up on our channel and share your work that you're doing out there, because we would love to share the story of somebody that's living in an Airstream. That's the new American dream, I think. So for The Charted Life, I'm Captain Christopher German. This is Conversations at the Helm, and we've got one more video to show, and then we'll come back, we'll say goodbye, and you will be on your merry way, and we'll be on our way to Ohio. So enjoy the new Home Smiths, and this is Life in an Airstream.
Hey, I'm John.
I'm Laura, and this is our Airstream. So in our first year, we covered 39 states and moved really quickly every like 2 or 3 days. And since then, we've been kind of ping-ponging around the country, spending 1 to 2 weeks in each place.
Yep. So we stay in each place for a week or two. On Sundays is usually when we move.
You do all the outside. He usually does all the outside stuff. I usually take care of all the inside stuff. So while I'm putting everything away inside, he's outside putting up the stabilizer feet and unhooking the water and putting away the power cord and getting the outside of the trailer ready.
And then when we get to a spot, it's kind of the reverse of that. We unhook the trailer, we let the cat out of the bag.
Literally.
Oh my God. My dad died when I was 26. 2011, he died pretty suddenly and got me thinking about my life and what I'm doing with it, and my own mortality, and wanting to get on with the things I always wanted to do in my life. My mom had bought this first Airstream in 2006 and fixed it up. You know, I had always been telling myself I wanted to travel a lot, but I hadn't even been to California yet. I figured this was the time to take the leap and go on a journey to find myself or whatever. I had been dating Laura for about 4 months, and I told her what my plan was. I was gonna borrow this Airstream from my mom and take it around the country for a year, and then I left a nice awkward pause.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, it was great meeting you. I guess, you know, this is it. You're going to go on your adventure and I'll stay here in New York. And then he asked me if I wanted to come with him. I was like, absolutely, like definitely 100%. Let's do it. So we kind of like went into it blindly and we're like, well, we'll figure it out along the way. And we did. And it's worked out pretty well so far.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, 5.5 years later, we're
still not tired of it.
Still in an Airstream.
Yeah.
We've been living in this Airstream since April of this year, so about 6 months.
We spent about 14 months designing and custom building everything in here based on what we had learned living in our first Airstream.
So this is our dinette area. It's where we eat dinner, it's where we watch movies. It also folds down into a bed, so if we have guests, they can sleep here, and it's comfy and pretty much queen size. Dogs
like to lounge on
it. Yeah.
We haven't had a guest sleep here yet, but they would sleep here.
Yeah.
So, or if I'm in the doghouse, they would sleep here.
So this is our kitchen. It's fully functioning. We have the gas stove, gas oven. I love to bake, so I made some muffins yesterday.
I cook sometimes, but mostly I do the dishes. So this is my half of the kitchen. That's her half.
Yeah. This is where John does all of his work.
Yep. And that's where Laura does all of her work.
Barcelona Quilting Company is my business, and I make modern quilts. Being on the road and traveling to all these beautiful places is like a constant source of inspiration. That's not something you can get from being in one place. It's really exciting living on the road.
So glamorous.
Yep.
Usually not the stressed up film.
More sweatpants.
Yeah, more sweatpantsy for sure.
Poor John has to listen to this all day. Like in meetings, and people are like, what is that sound? He's like, oh, that's just my wife's sewing machine. Like, sorry.
I work for a Silicon Valley startup, so I always joke that I'm co-working with a quilting startup. We have a lot of people that tell us, oh, you're living the dream. And like, yeah, we're incredibly lucky to live like this, but it's like every day I'm sitting at my desk for, a good solid 8 hours and doing work stuff and getting stressed out about work stuff. And we're not immune from like the stresses of daily life. It's nice that we're overlooking a river, but we still have problems. We spent about 50 grand on this over the course of 14 months. It's not free to live on the road. It can be, but it's not always. Sometimes you need to, stay in an RV park, and the fees for that can range from $20 to $100 a night. So, over a month, that can add up to just as much as you might pay in rent. The thing about this lifestyle is it can be like as frugal or as lavish as you want, or as you can afford, and you can enjoy yourself either way. There's a couple of dimensions to this. There's the traveling and being able to explore and discover new things on the road. But for me, a big part of this was building this Airstream out, take everything I've learned over my life and apply it to a functional space that I'm going to live in that like is inspired by the time we spent in our old Airstream, where, we were able to give everything a very specific purpose. And for me, there's a huge process of self-discovery, like just being on the road, living in this thing now, like it's like a daily reminder, like, oh yeah, like I know about every single rivet in here, like I know like what's wrong with that window over there. It's nice to live in something I created.
So this is our pantry. We've got like huge, like full hallway width drawers. I mean, it's like more storage than we could possibly.
I'm gonna show you my favorite part.
Yeah, John's very proud of this.
We have this little extra counter space here, which is perfect for our bar. So if I want to make a cocktail, or I'll just drink it straight out of the bottle. So this is our bathroom. It's got our toilet and our sink in it. And this will be our shower someday, but for right now it's just a closet. But these are designed, this hallway is designed to open the bathroom all the way up. So if I close this door here, and then also close this door, the whole space becomes one big bathroom.
So this is our bedroom. We have our bed, obviously, our wardrobe, and a dresser where we keep all of our clothes. All of this on the side is storage, and then under the bed is where I keep all of my fabric and batting and extra quilts. There's lots of storage, but it's also really spacious, which is nice. Just was like, no.
Wake Up Wednesdays, a tradition we started to kind of get us out of our, daily routine of just waking up and going to work. It's an opportunity for us to explore whatever place we're in. We'll just wake up early, maybe 6 o'clock before sunrise, and drive out to the top of that observation tower, or, go check out that lake.
Watch the sunset or
Sunrise.
Sunrise happens in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, I think about my dad all the time. Especially, I take it back. I do get sentimental, and I got very sentimental at our wedding, for the obvious reasons. But it was the culmination of like all this work, building this Airstream. My dad used to run a cabinet shop down in Florida, so it's like, the wedding time was pretty emotional because I would want him to see what I built here, and I would want him to meet Laura. We met shortly after he passed. The wedding was like a time for all of that to come together, and so for him to not be there, was tough. But I'm not too not into the afterlife or any of that. But I would think if he was still around, he'd be proud of me. So yeah.
Exploring even like the city that you live in, forcing yourself to like go someplace new or see your neighborhood in a different way. That's what I've found inspiring. People get so like bogged down in like their daily routine. That's part of the reason why we did Wake Up Wednesday. For me, being in a new place where you can explore new things you've never seen before, meeting new people you wouldn't necessarily have met. Traveling kind of opens you up to a lot more new experiences that you wouldn't necessarily get to have being in one place. That's what I like about it.
And we're back. What do you think of the Home Smiths? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd love to be able to live in an Airstream like that, or a boat, and that's why I am part of the Charted Life. Do you want to live in a boat? Do you want to live in an Airstream? Do you want to live off the back of a Harley? Do you want to live in a van? Do you want to live in a bus? We don't care. Tiny homers, we love ya. All of these things are part of the Charted Life. And if you've enjoyed this episode of Conversations at the Helm, which I hope you have, we're going to rebroadcast this. And that, I think, I was actually, on the break, I was looking at that historic movie of Airstreams. And that's our Airstream. I don't know the date on that movie, but all of the details of that build on that Airstream are exactly the details that I found in our Airstream. And I would have done a few things differently had I seen that video, because it would have been a lot easier taking the thing apart had I seen a video how it went together. Now you have seen the videos, so if you're going to be restoring an Airstream, send us a message, give us a call, whatever. I don't care. You can get us at the chartedlife.net, www.thechartedlife.net. Shoot us an email, info@thechartedlife.net, or get us on the phone, 252-617-3792. We do hope you've enjoyed this episode of Conversations at the Helm, and it will be rebroadcast Sunday night at 8 p.m. So, without further ado, I'm going to get back to the road and get ready to get out of here, because that's where we're heading, is up to Ohio. Thank you so much for watching Conversations at the Helm. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend.
And let's get away from it all. Let's take a trip and a trailer. No need to come back at all. Let's take a powder for Boston or chowder, and let's get away from it all.